I don't.
Oh, I'll get it up there.
We are live now. What's going on?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Mostest Okayest podcast. Everybody listening and on the Twitchy network. We're live. Just want to let everybody know we're live. It's good to be back. Hey, look at us. We're all cool. Look at our little things on Twitch. I'm watching our own Twitch. I am your host, Tyler, along with my co-host Steven, along with my other co-host, Garcia. I'm sorry.
Jesus, Tyler's dying right
didn't
now.
you?
And our special guest, Joseph, the man, the myth, the legend, the big hog energy diver. Everybody, it's good to be back.
Yep,
Hi.
we
How's
already
everybody doing?
We already have the Awfully Irish podcast tuning in. Thanks, guys. How's it
Hey,
going?
what's going on, my guys? Appreciate you guys tuning in. So this one is going to be, what starts this week is the NFL finally starting. It makes me want to makes me so erect.
Oh God,
But
Jesus.
But today we're going to, talk about week one and talk about our early season predictions. Now that we know injuries and all this, some of the injuries that happened in preseason and all this and that. So, Steven, what do you got for us, man?
Oh, well, of course, tomorrow night we have the kickoff with the Cowboys and the Bucks. First thing I want to get into, who predictions? Who's going to win? Who's going to show up in the first game? I want to hear you guys' opinions.
The Bucks.
The GOAT.
Yeah, the fucking goat.
Yeah, the Bucks. But I think the Cowboys will make it close, though. I think the Cowboys will make it close.
Okay, so what do we think the scores are going to be?
So here's my thing. I want to see how the Cowboys defense is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
See how Micah Parsons comes out.
Yep. I want to see how Michael Parsons is going to fit in with that defense and the other linebackers now that he's going to be playing full time instead of like in the preseason only basically playing one drive or whatever the case may be. So I want to see how he truly fits in with that defense and see how that defense is truly going to stand out and see if it is going to make a difference this year or not.
Right. No, that defense can be something because their offense is explosive. Their offense can be explosive. As long as Dak can stay healthy, it's going to be explosive no matter what.
Yep.
But it just depends on what that defense does, because I don't think that defense is super strong. But you still have, oh God, what's his freaking name? No, I can't remember his name. The dude, the pass rusher, the defensive end. DeMarcus Lawrence? No, not. Is it DeMarcus Lawrence? No, it's not. It's something Lawrence. Is it DeMarcus Lawrence?
I think
it's not.
Yeah, it's DeMarcus Lawrence.
Okay,
right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Maybe.
But now I'm second guessing myself with you guys.
He's 94. He's 94, right? Like, am I just like?
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, with him, and then you have Micah. They have some pretty good defensive backs. I don't think they're super crazy, but I think overall, I still think the Bucks win. And we have the Awfully Irish podcast saying Bucks win. They got a solid defense, and their offense is pretty damn strong. That's damn sure. I think it's more than pretty damn strong. I think it is really, really strong. You still have the GOAT. When the GOAT's playing out there, he makes everybody better. So, and they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. So, and I think go ahead, my man. My bad.
I was going to say, with the defense returning with Devin White, Gil Barrett, and everything like that, it's...
Well, they signed everybody back. That's
that's
an amazing
everybody
thing.
back, so that's the crazy part,
22 starters. And on offense, you still have... he's not as good still, but you still have Antonio Brown. You still, of course, have Mike Evans. You have Gronk. You have O.J. Howard. You have Chris Godwin. You still have Scotty Miller, who came into his own last year. And then the running backs, the dual threat of Ronald Jones and Fournette. And then they signed Giovanni Bernard, who's a great pass catcher out of the backfield. That's all that Brady needs. I think in all reality, early season, I think they're the favorites. I know Kansas City, they say they are, but I can't see them losing to Kansas City. I think the Bucks. Yeah,
I think they could go near perfect this year, undefeated. They stay healthy.
Yeah, we got the Awfully Irish podcast coming in saying the Bucks defense made Kansas look like the U4's team.
Yeah. I think they laid the blueprint for a lot of people on how to beat them.
Oh yeah, 100%. They definitely laid down a blueprint.
So
the one thing I want to see too is Antoine Winfield Jr. I want to see how he's going to be his second year in, because he looked good last year, his rookie year, and then it'll be his second year in. And then, I mean, more experience, and then on that defense as well, and everything like that. I want to see how truly he's going to progress and keep getting better. Like he's one exciting player that I'm excited to always see and watch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That'll be interesting little to get him, kind of his second year, because I mean, yeah, you're right. He did really well last year, so yeah, I think he's going to be a hellion this year with that defense.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up now, since we already were talking about your midseason prediction or your early season prediction about the Bucks being the favorites. We do have the schedule here, the full schedule for the Bucks. It does look like a pretty easy schedule for them, to be honest. They play the Cowboys week 1, got the Falcons, Rams, Patriots.
The Rams might be an interesting one, just because that defense.
Yep. And then I mean that offense has Matt Stafford now too.
Yeah.
And then let's see. It looks like they do have the Bills in December.
That'll be an interesting game.
So that's going to be a good game too.
Now going back to that Tampa Bay and New England, that's when he's going to supposedly if he stays on pace, that's when he's supposed to break the record. Brady is, so that'll be an interesting. That'll be interesting to break it, and I hope he breaks it and then flips off Belichick.
He's just fuck you, Bill. You suck. Shouldn't have got rid of me.
But like you said, I see them having a pretty easy.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy looking schedule, to be honest. I mean, the Rams might make some trouble. The Bills will definitely be an interesting game. It might come down to, if Sam Darnold actually finds an identity in Carolina, if they even have any kind of competition. Because, I mean, do you honestly think that Jameis is going to do good with New Orleans?
In that offense? Yes,
No.
because
I think
he does. I think he is, because he can launch that bitch. And that's what... Because, I mean, really, they have a lot of explosive players. And with Alvin Kamara coming back out of the backfield, he still has that little person to dump it off to. And then Michael Thomas, if he ever stops crying, he'll come back. Yeah. And he'll be that inside route, because God forbid he runs a route longer than 10 yards. And then he says he should be a 99 in Madden, which he's garbage. He's good. He's good. Don't get me wrong. But he doesn't run long routes. He just can't win the big ones. But they do have some big players off that can take the top off. And Jameis knows how to do that. Jameis can launch the ball. They didn't have that with Drew Brees. Every so often Drew Brees will launch it deep, but
as long as he plays with the system, I could see him go off.
I think Sean
don't do anything fucking extra.
And I think Sean Payton can keep him under wraps.
Well, I mean, while we have it here too, I mean, there's a Saints schedule. I mean, their schedule isn't...
Fuck the Saints.
It's not terribly difficult either. I mean, Jameis could come in and, do a good job.
He is coming in. He's week 1 starter.
Well, I'm saying he can come in and do a good job, so...
Yeah, he's got...
but also, you have to look at what Jameis did with the Bucks last time he truly started. Like, yeah, he threw a lot of picks, but he still was, top 2, 30, top 3 in yards?
Yeah, that dude went off.
Wasn't he a big-time fantasy player as well with those points?
So he was big. I had Mike Evans that year that he went 30 for 30.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, all he would do was just launch it. And Evans would either catch it or it'd get intercepted. And for me, I didn't give a shit, because Evans was getting those long passes. But I didn't fucking care. But, yeah, he still had it's Jameis. Now he says that he had the LASIK surgery, and that's why he threw all those picks, because God forbid you can't see a difference between red and gray and gold jerseys to white, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I don't know. I can see Jameis putting up some yards, and maybe hopefully showing the doubters that he can still play.
Do you guys think Sam Darnold comes in and does anything with the Panthers? Or do you think that's just where his
Christian
career might
carries
die?
him? Christian carries
as always. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's also going to depend on if Christian can stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's also true. Yeah, Christian is a little injury prone. Well, I guess since we're talking about the NFC South, is this Matt Ryan's last season? You think he's done?
No, he has a couple. It depends on.
He's got 3 years left in him.
Yeah, it depends on how kind of if he doesn't take constant hits. But no, I don't think he's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think
I think he's done in Atlanta though. I think this will be his last year though.
You think he leaves Atlanta? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So do you fully foresee a new quarterback in Atlanta next season?
Absolutely.
Depending, I think that could be. But if Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts and Calvin Ridley and Gage show up, I mean, Matt Ryan could still say, "Oh, I like this receiving core I got here," and stay a little bit.
Okay.
And even then, I mean, Matt Ryan could still show that he could still be that franchise quarterback that
Mhm.
everybody thought he once was with everything that he does have.
Right.
As long as he can put up everything he can do, their biggest weak point, at least for that team, is going to be that defense, honestly.
Okay.
And so as long as Matt Ryan can show that, hey, I can still lead an offense and I can still do everything I need to do, I mean, I could see Atlanta maybe getting a quarterback in this, next year's in their first round for the next year to be under Matt Ryan for a bit and basically help take over once he does leave or whenever he gets past that point. So that way they have a quarterback to rebuild. But I don't see Matt Ryan being done yet.
Okay.
No. So we're talking about, the first week and everything. So we're going to go through, we're just going to take our ganders at, the
week one
predictions of
games.
who's going to win and who's going to lose and, all that fun stuff. So
let's
we're going to start.
Yeah, let's just go down the list. You can do that.
All right. So I will, you want to call it, Steven?
Yeah, we'll just,
Okay, go ahead.
We'll go down and you guys just say who you think's going to win. Let's see. Eagles at Falcons.
Eagles.
Yeah. Steelers at Bills. I think the Bills are going to decimate the Steelers.
Well, it depends on too.
Steelers.
With the whole you're crazy. With the Steelers with the whole TJ Watt situation. I mean, depending on what happens there, that might be.
That's right. He's not healthy.
No, he is healthy. His contracts. They're in a huge contract negotiation right now because TJ Watt. They're usually not good with. Steelers are notorious for not guaranteeing money and not long contract extensions. But TJ Watt is wanting a long contract extension and guaranteed money.
And that's what even Big Ben just came out and said that's the reason why I took less money is so that way we can sign players like him and keep them around.
Which I fully agree because TJ Watt probably can be considered one of the top edge rushers in the league.
Oh, 100%.
Probably not top, probably one of top 3.
I'll say you top 3 or top 5 easily.
3. Easily top 3.
So who do we have winning that game though?
Bills.
I'm going Bills. Yeah.
Oh, now you change.
Yeah, I'm gonna go change on this one.
Now you change that one.
I thought he was injured, but okay.
So Donald against his old team. Zach Wilson's gonna play the Panthers.
Carolina.
Going Panthers.
Panthers. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Panthers win that.
Yeah, I have Panthers.
Joe Burrow's return. The Vikings and the Bengals.
Vikings.
Yeah, Vikings.
Okay, I agree with Vikings too.
I'm curious to see how Joe Burrow is going to perform, though, especially after hurting, like with the knee injury and everything like that. Like,
see how tender it is, and see how he favors it.
And also with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, it was
trash.
With the weapons he has, I'm curious to see how he's going to be, and then see how healthy.
Jamar Chase is not a weapon. He's trash. He couldn't catch for shit.
We'll see.
He dropped every single ball.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, we'll see.
He's like the Jerry Jeudy of this year.
Oh, that's a bad brand to have. Jeez. Okay. Next we got 49ers Lions.
49ers.
Yeah,
Niners.
I
could see
Niners.
I could see
49ers. Yeah.
I could say 49ers might make a strong push for the playoffs.
I think they have a real strong chance of making it to the NFC Championship game. Yeah. That would make
that's tough.
That'd make a good storyline though. Could you imagine that? Mentor against, his old backup. See if Garoppolo has that chance.
No homo here, but Garoppolo is kind of good looking as a man to man. You're like, okay, Garoppolo, man to man, you're a good looking dude. Like, I could see why you went out of San Fran because wasn't he dating that porn star for a bit?
Something like that, yeah.
Yes,
Wasn't everybody dating that porn star for a bit?
Well, that's what usually happens. Okay, way off topic. Hold on.
Okay.
Have you guys noticed, like, okay, again, no homo, But who's the
Jesus.
best look? Who's the best looking coach? Like you guys think about it. Like there's some good looking coaches out there. Like you got Sean McVay. You got the dude from Arizona.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid, yeah.
That's more Steven style. That's more Steven style.
Oh, Jesus.
Cliff
It's
Kingsbury.
the
That's the
mustache, man. It's the mustache.
You know who though? I think Matt LaFleur. Is it LaFleur or is it
LaFleur.
Is it Matt LaFleur?
Yeah,
It
from
is.
Green
Green
Bay.
Yeah. Hey, they're pretty good looking. No homo though.
No homo.
I heard that this morning on the Dan Patrick show. So if they can talk about it, we can talk about it.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess we're on the same level as the Dan Patrick show.
Oh God, the next game is trash. Oh
yeah,
God.
the next game's terrible.
Yeah.
We have the first round draft pick against the shittiest team on the planet.
Fucking right. Let's fucking go.
How about?
Hey, I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. I think Houston's defense will be top 10 this year.
Oh, okay.
You laugh now. Just wait.
All right. I'm gonna counter
They
with
will
this.
still be trash. They will still be trash. But top 10.
I'm gonna counter with this. How bad do the Texans lose this game?
They won't lose.
How many
They
touchdowns?
won't. You know what? No. Because see,
You
now
gotta
you're
remember they're
Steven-
playing a rookie fucking quarterback here, man.
Yeah. And the Jags aren't that good. Like they're good, but they're not like, oh my God, they're gonna blow Houston out of the water. Because Tyrod Taylor is not a bad quarterback.
He's a good managing quarterback. He can manage the game.
Yes, and he's literally always been either he puts the teams that he plays with in games or he wins. Like he's not a bad quarterback.
Nope. Not at all. He's just always been put in shitty situations.
Yeah, I mean he did get stabbed by a needle at the freaking Chargers, but without him, well, we wouldn't have probably known of Justin Herbert. But I don't know. I think Garcia, the Texans don't have a bad defense. I just don't see they have. I mean, the only main person they have is Justin Reed, but I cannot agree with the top.
Zach Cunningham too. He was the lead tackler in the league last year.
That's true.
Let's see. I want to see if I can pull up there.
And Lovie Smith, man. Lovie Smith is the D coordinator.
So he is, and he is. Yes, you can see it in
Chicago.
Yeah.
Boom. And they're under the radar big time because hey, worst team in the league, Deshaun Watson. I think their defense is what carries them.
All they have to do, literally, all they have to do to be not worst team is win 6 or 7 games, and they've proven everybody wrong.
Exactly.
They don't even have to have a winning season.
The ceiling is low this year.
Yeah,
6 or 7 games.
Okay, so while we're on the topic of the Texans, let's just go over a few of their matchups. They play the Browns week 2. They play the Bills week 4. Patriots week 5.
You missed week 3. What happens week 3?
Week 3 they play the Panthers. I mean, that's toss up.
Toss up.
They play the Patriots, the Colts.
Patriots aren't too hot though. Patriots aren't too hot.
Another rookie quarterback too.
I think Mac Jones is gonna take over that team. I think he's.
he has
to. So, but not this year.
Starting.
Yeah. After the Patriots play the Colts, they play the Cardinals, which is another toss up. But then they play the Rams.
They have a
fucking decimated.
They have a tough schedule. Jesus Christ.
They'll play the Dolphins before going on a bye. They'll come back from the bye and play Tennessee.
Yeah, loss.
They'll play the Jets.
That's when whoever has Derrick Henry on their fantasy team play Derrick Henry. He literally goes off.
He
goes off against Jacksonville and Houston every single time.
Any Titans running back will go off on Houston. It's a fucking gimme.
And then after Tennessee, he got the Jets. Then they have the Colts again, followed by the Seahawks, which, I mean, depending on what Seahawks team we get at the end of the season, that could be a win or a loss.
They'll still put points up, but their defense is where it gets interesting.
Yeah. Then they'll play Jacksonville, and then you'll finish out the season with the Chargers, the Niners, and then Tennessee again.
I can see them squeezing out 5 wins.
Yeah.
But again, they get 5 to 7 wins. That's still better than what they're predicted.
That's a victory to them.
That is a fucking win.
I mean, wouldn't you just want to tank and try to get a first round quarterback?
I don't know if they want to necessarily tank for it, but they have nothing for this team, man. They got nothing.
Well, why is everybody going against Deshaun Watson though? Because Deshaun still hasn't been proven guilty.
Well, he hasn't.
It sucks, man. They did him dirty.
I mean, do you think the team still sticks with him even with like the negative press?
No, he's gone. If
he leaves, that's his fault. I mean, he's going to be gone, and that's the Texans' But the fact that they put him at third string and they're like, oh, yeah, here you go. You were already knowing that you're guilty. When even though all this shit's starting to come out like, oh, yeah, these women literally lied. He alone changes that team. You put Deshaun Watson on the field, they immediately become he brings 2 to 3 more wins.
Yeah, they're an 8-9 team instead of a 5-11.
Right.
So, okay.
Yep.
Let's get back to the week 1 stuff. Just gotta pull it up here. There's week 2, week 1. Okay, back to week 1. Let's see. After that game, it's the Seahawks and the Colts.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. I can agree with Seahawks. What about you, Diver?
Seahawks, 100%.
Yeah, he said Seahawks.
Cardinals, Titans. It's the Titans. Titans win that easy.
Yeah.
Depends on what Cardinals team shows up.
I don't think they win it easy, but I'm gonna give it to them.
I'd say
Cardinals are not a bad team.
I'd say by 10
Not.
points though.
Too, and their defense,
They have goddamn receivers too. I don't know.
I still
Kyler
say-
Murray.
I still say that's a 10-point
The air
win.
raid, man. The air raid.
It depends on Tennessee's defense too, because Tennessee's defense has always not been that hot.
No, it hasn't been. But
I honestly don't feel like this is going to be an offense-defense. It's going to be a time possession game. And if you can just hand it to Derrick Henry, you can run minutes off the clock. I mean, it could be a low-scoring game. It could be a 14-3.
It won't be. It won't be because
so?
Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins won't let that happen.
yeah, they're too fast-paced, and even then, I mean, the Cardinals do have a great defense, especially now with J.J. Watt. Yes, he's older.
Still
and
have
he's
Chandler Jones
But yeah, they still have Chandler Jones
and Budda Baker.
and their secondary is still pretty good. And so that's the reason why the Cardinals, it's truly hard to go against them. And I know the Titans defense has always kind of been their weak point, but I mean, at the same time, you look at it and it's almost impossible. Looking at it on paper, it looks like it's basically impossible to stop the Titans.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are saying Titans, all of us, but there's a chance it's a close game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see
I
that.
think it's going to be a close game either way, but yes, I think Titans.
Okay. Chargers, Washington.
This will be a good one, actually. I feel like this one might be a really good
Yeah.
game.
I think this is going to be the slept-down game.
Yeah. I'm going to take Chargers, but it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be close because that Washington defense is dirty.
Yeah, I say Chargers by like 7 or 3.
Yeah.
It's a 1-score game.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing too. Which Fitzpatrick do you get? Do you get the 7 touchdown Fitzpatrick, or do you get the 7 interception?
It's magic.
Yeah, do you get the
I'm
Fitzmagic
getting
or the
Shane
Fitzpatrick?
wearing chest hair out Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yes, sir. And that if it's that Fitzpatrick, they win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hands down.
Okay. Me and Tyler were talking about this game earlier. This is the one that Tyler's looking forward to.
Ooh.
It's the Browns-Chiefs.
Ooh, that's gonna be tough.
And it's in Kansas City, though.
It is in Kansas City. That's the thing.
But it's in Kansas City, but it's the first game and it's not December.
Yeah, it's not December.
And you also have to remember, so if you look at it too, last time that they played, the
They
Browns
barely won. They barely won on a 4th down.
They barely won, and that was a Browns team without Odell.
Yep.
I think the
With
Browns got
Odell
this.
in there, it depends on how that offense is going to look. And then this
I agree.
defense, we also got better.
You did.
So,
Mhm.
so is
If
it
Miles,
is it the week 1 surprise? Do the Browns go
Yes.
into Kansas City and win?
I kind of say yes.
Yeah.
I think
I
I'm
mean,
gonna pick that upset, and I pick Browns.
I'm not going to go
Browns.
against my team, but
Going Browns.
The only say because I say that the Browns can match up pretty damn well, like the Bucks did with them. If the Browns come out and rush and beat the shit out of Patrick Mahomes with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, and they create pressure, they can win. Now the only thing is, can the Browns cover Kelsey and Hill?
That's also
Diver, I bring that to you, Diver. Can they cover Hill and Kelsey with their personnel?
so I would say I wouldn't worry as much about covering them. I would worry as much about maintaining them. The Browns' weak point on defense has been for a couple years and probably will be for a couple more years is their linebackers. They're not great linebackers. We are better at the secondary with Ronnie Harrison, with Johnson, who we just signed. We just drafted Newsome. We still have Greedy Williams, Denzel Ward.
Yep.
And that's the thing. And then our D-line is great. Yeah. Our D-line is great. And that's the thing is, so our linebackers are going to have to definitely hold down the middle for Kelsey, and then those little drag routes or whatever with Hill and Hardman and all them stuff. So as long as we can maintain them and stop them within short gains and not have them have those explosive plays, I think there's a chance to where we can. The biggest thing for us, for the Browns, is the offense, because we're going to have to come out hot and we're going to have to keep it going
and match you, because Pat, you're not going to stop Patrick Mahomes from scoring, especially from what happened in the Super Bowl. He's going to come out flinging that bitch.
Yeah,
so,
and that's the reason why I say we need to contain and maintain the Chiefs' offense, and then that's the thing is our offense is going to have to come out rolling. So we're going to have to establish the run game early, and then at the same time, we're going to have to utilize the weapons. Make sure Odell's getting involved, Landry's getting involved, and Higgins is getting involved, so that way they can't just target one aspect of the offense.
Well, you got to make sure Odell takes the top off too. If Odell can start taking the top off, you guys literally have a really good chance. And if Nick Chubb can run, because the Chiefs can't handle a power back. You guys saw that with Oakland when they played Las Vegas. I mean, with Josh Jacobs, they hate getting pounded. They hate it. So if you can pound the rock with Chubb and then surprise them with Kareem Hunt and then blow the top off with Odell and then have freaking, Hooper play his role in his tight end like they did with Gronk, and then have, Jarvis Landry catch those tough passes, there's a lot of chance. There's a big chance you guys can upset in the first week.
And I truly think we can, and I hope we can, and I truly think there is a strong possibility of it. It's just, again, on paper, the Browns look fantastic. It's just a matter of how we're actually going to be out on the field.
I agree.
All right. Well, we're nearing the half an hour mark. So after we go through these last few teams, we're going to take a small break. But let's get through these last few teams first. We have the Dolphins and the Patriots.
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Mac Jones looked good in preseason, but
so did Tua. Tua was drilling.
Tua looked great.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the Dolphins too.
It's hard to. I mean,
and Tua has some weapons. Tua does have some weapons.
And that's the reason why I was going to say that offense. I mean, I think the Patriots defense is going to take a huge hit. So I think
with Stephon Gilmore out too.
Yep.
That's huge.
Okay. Packers Saints.
Packers.
Yeah,
Packers.
I say Aaron Rodgers is gonna come in pissed off. I mean, yeah, that's a Packers win. Broncos Giants.
Broncos.
I hope
Broncos.
We win. I hope we win. That's all I'm gonna say.
So with the Broncos, I don't know if everybody else heard about what happened with their quarterback situation last year.
We'll save that after the break. But yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll bring that up. Go ahead.
Bears Rams win that game.
Rams.
And then the Monday night game, Ravens Raiders.
Ravens
win that.
Ravens. Yeah, Baltimore.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna take a small 2-3 minute break. We'll be back. Thanks for tuning in so far, and we will talk to you guys in a minute.
Boom. All right, welcome back, everybody. That was a great first segment, if I do say so myself, and thank you guys again for joining us. Holly Jolly Gamer, Steven, Joseph, the man, the myth, the hog, big hog energy, and then Garcia.
Just
with that caterpillar on his head, with this caterpillar on his face. Freaking mustache.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm growing mine out, so it's fine.
Yeah, yours looks freaking homo-ish too.
That's fine.
You two should go.
You're just
compare
jelly because you
mustaches.
can't fucking grow when you fuck.
I definitely can.
Your mom did say that.
Really? Did she freaking write it? Yeah, I bet she did.
I mean,
I'm not scared to go there. I'm not scared to go there. Let's go.
You really
okay, let's rate it back.
There we go.
All right, so before the break, we were going to talk about the Broncos QB situation. You want to talk about that?
I guess I can go fuck myself because I wasn't talking about it. So the Broncos situation, I don't know if you guys heard, But what was going on is that last year, when all of our quarterbacks dropped out, we had to pick up that Kendall Hinton, that receiver from the practice squad against the Saints.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So this dude comes in, of course, because everybody got popped for COVID. It's like they were in the same, I think it was Ripon. Someone had COVID, tested positive for COVID.
Somebody did, yeah.
Yeah. And of course they all dropped out because they couldn't be, with the team. And then Kendall Hinton came in, and the Broncos fans did not expect anything out of this guy. And, for him just stepping in got him to, got his stuff in can. So, that's pretty cool. But the big story came out that John Elway begged Roger Goodell to move the game to Tuesday so that Drew Lock could play. Come to find out that they all have trackers on. They all had these little trackers, and so in the quarterback room, on the quarterback's day off, Drew Lock called a film study. So Drew Lock says, or I guess they didn't say who, but they found out on the security cameras that they put the trackers in each four of the corners of the room, knowing that people were in there, but that way that they couldn't be grouped together in a way. So it could say, oh, there's 6 feet of space, all this and that. So, Steven, I'm echoing on your side.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, come to find out, so they find out about that, and they're saying, oh, this happened, and now Drew Lock's a liar because, they're saying Drew Lock should have been the leader. They're saying that Drew Lock said this never happened, and that John Elway put his neck out for him. And so they're also saying now that this is the reason why he lost the starting position, because now Vic Fangio remembered that, and it's like, okay, this came out. How can we put you as a leader when this literally is now everywhere, and put you as a leader of our team when this is now everywhere, and you lied basically to everybody about this, which I wholeheartedly agree with, because how do you go against Fangio for saying that, you lied to not only the Denver Broncos, but basically to everybody? So I thought it was an interesting little tidbit that we were informed of.
Oh yeah, I honestly didn't hear about it until you told me earlier. I read the article on it. It is so stupid. Like, all you had to do last year was do the social distancing, the 6 feet thing, and instead of following protocol, they took off their contact tracers, put them in different corners of the room, and we're like, oh, let's just sit together like this is a sleepover. And it's like, oh my god. And the thing that I guess struck me more in the article was that John Elway did go up to bat for him, but then the NFL did their own little internal investigation and found out, like you said, because of the security cameras of what they did. How are you in your 20s? You're on your phone all the time. You're surrounded by this tech, and it doesn't once go through your mind, yeah, there's security cameras. Even though we're trying to pull one over, how do you not? It doesn't go through your mind. That just baffles me. They're like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to get away with it. Ha ha ha. It's funny.
Well, it's called not being a leader.
There's that.
Like they were saying.
Yeah.
But Drew Lock just stepped up and said, no, we need to keep our trackers on. And it shouldn't even gone through his mind. Because who knows who was the one to say, it could have been Blake Bortles. It could have been Ripon. It could have been Locke. It could have been anybody that said, hey, put these in the corners. Drew Lock should have stepped up and said, no, guys, let's just keep the things on and just, move on. But then for him to not say anything or even do that and be part of that group creates that, are you even a leader? You can't even lead the quarterback room, let alone lead the team.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I personally like having Teddy Bridgewater as a starter. We'll see, but I like Teddy Bridgewater because he's a great leader and he's proven himself time and time again to be a great game manager, which we need right now. So
we'll see how the season turns out with Teddy's head.
Yep.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he truly does this year.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, it's kind of having George Payton up there. You kind of thought, oh, George Payton was the one that drafted him. You think that's going to kind of pull a couple strings? Yeah, probably.
But yeah, just reading that article, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, I mean, even us last year when this happened, we were like, why aren't they giving us an extension? What's going on? The NFL's screwing us pretty much. But I mean, the NFL didn't screw us. Our quarterbacks were just morons, you know?
Yep.
And that's the thing that, like, kind of irritates me. It's like, we were in the middle. We had a legitimate chance if we somehow could have won that game. I don't know if we would have with a different quarterback. We probably still wouldn't have. But
The Saints, they were pretty good.
Yeah, I would say we had a chance to make a wild card run, and you just do something like that. You screw the momentum. I mean, we won like 2 games in a row at that point. And, you know, it could have been a third. We could have gained some momentum, gone somewhere, maybe got a wild card spot, but no. Like you said, because there wasn't a leader in that room that day who could make a responsible decision, we had to throw out a wide receiver and watch him get destroyed. I mean, that game was what, 31-3 or something like that? It was a terrible game. It was awful.
All right. So going off of that, do you guys have any interesting things against your teams?
Any news going on?
No. Fuck
I mean, I just have a game that I'll be on the edge of my seat for, or yelling at my TV because we're gonna mess it up.
Same with us.
Yeah, same.
All right, so we're gonna do a quick, now that we have a good idea of all the teams, and we're gonna go through real quick end of the year predictions. We'll do one now, we'll do one mid-season, and then of course we'll do one at the end of the season. So right now, I'm gonna start off with Coach of the Year.
Coach of the Year. Oof. I don't know. Do you guys want? One of you guys want to tackle this first? I don't have an answer yet.
I don't either.
I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of one.
I'm
trying to.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm just trying to think of someone that would like people want to expect essentially.
I personally, and I thought about this earlier today, was Kyle Shanahan.
You know, I was honestly just thinking about it. If the 49ers can do something, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see Kyle Shanahan being coach of the year at the end of the year.
Either him, or I could also see the new coach from the Chargers, if they improve a lot. I think his name's Staley. Brandon Staley, yeah. I could see that too.
What do you think would get him coach of the year, though? Do you think he has to win the division, or do you think if they just drastically improve?
Because
I mean,
I would say division.
I'd say division, or at least if they get in the wild card, go to at least the second round.
If they make it to the second round of the playoffs, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I would agree with that because I mean you're going in there with Justin Herbert, who showed great potential and everything like that with the Chargers, and then if he can go in there and truly lead with his second year in, and then with the defense and everything, if they go to the second round or win the division, I could easily see him win Coach of the Year.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd have to say for me, I do like the Shanahan route, but I mean, if the Rams come out and they win the NFC West and they make a push, I could see McVay getting Coach of the Year.
Yeah, I could see that too.
And I mean, on that note, I could also see Donald getting another Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, hold on. That'll come here.
Okay.
All right. So the next one that we're gonna go with is Comeback Player of the Year.
Stafford.
So I have 2. Depending on how Stafford does, I can see Stafford, yes. But also, depending on how Ryan Fitzpatrick does, I can see Ryan Fitzpatrick.
What about you, Garcia?
JJ Watt.
So I have 2. I have Dak Prescott. No, actually I have 3. Dak, CMC, and this one's going to be a hot take, Jameis Winston.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So Dak, because, if he comes out and throws for yards, I mean, like he does, and leads the Cowboys to at least a playoff berth, he could be Comeback Player of the Year and stays healthy. CMC, if he does his stuff, well, he could definitely do it. Jameis Winston, though, if he limits the turnovers and actually comes out and leads the Saints to a playoff berth, and Sean Payton has his stuff and tones down his turnovers, and Jameis Winston just goes out and plays, Jameis might be that guy.
Along the same routes, you could probably make a case for Saquon Barkley then too.
If he stays healthy.
That's
If
also
he stays
true.
healthy,
Yeah,
just like
Saquon.
CMC and Dak, and Saquon does like everybody expects him to, and the Giants could actually be something because you got Daniel Jones, Barkley, and then Galladay.
Yep, I agree. Okay.
So you could make a case for Barkley at that point too.
You could. You really could. I could see that. Okay, going on to rookies. Defense rookie of the year.
I think Micah Parsons.
Yep.
That's my guess.
I got to go with our boy Patrick.
I was gonna say I think it's PS2, man. I think he's gonna come out and have a good season.
I think it's going to be one of the two. It's just I think it's really just going to depend on obviously who plays better.
So I think it's going to be in the discussion. I think it's going to be Patrick, Micah, your new dude that you guys drafted, that Owusu dude.
Oh yeah, the linebacker
Jeremiah
from Notre Dame.
Yeah. I like those. I like those guys. I think those are going to be the top three. But if Surtain can come in and do what he's supposed to do as far as like, cover Kelsey and cover Waller and be that big corner that we're supposed to have, he gets 5, 6, 7 picks, which I mean, that's a high thing. But if he gets anywhere 4 or 5 picks and does a really good job in locking people down, he'll be a lock.
Oh yeah.
If Micah comes out and plays dominant like he did at Penn State, he probably could be a lock too. Okay. So, offensive rookie of the year.
Offensive. Ugh.
I'm gonna go with Trey Lance.
Ooh.
Do you think he's gonna start over Garoppolo at some point in the season?
No, yeah, I think he will. And that's that West Coast offense too. I think he'll excel in it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's gonna come in and he's gonna at least put the Jets in second place in the AFC.
I think I think that's tough. That's a big hot take.
That's a big one.
But
I'm saying that.
But I can kind of say that because Zach Wilson can rack up the yards on that team and the pass attempts. And if he keeps his turnovers to a minimum, I could see that happen. If he leads them to at least an 8, 9, 10 win season, he could be offensive rookie of the year.
Oh yeah, easy.
See, I think I don't know. There's 2 people floating around. I think Devontae Smith out of Philly with Jalen Hurts, and then with how that offense is, I think he could look really good.
I have one too that I think you're going to go with.
And I was going to say Jalen Waddle.
Oh, I was going to say Pitts.
So I could see Pitts as well, but
yeah,
I
don't know. Mac Jones.
I could see him being in the conversation, but because like I know me and you have talked about it, Tyler, I could see him being in the conversation because Mac Jones is a very systematic quarterback. He fit really well with how Alabama was, and he is that type of quarterback. And from what I've seen, it looks like the Patriots run a very similar pro-style offense. And I think Mac Jones fits what Bill Belichick wants perfectly. And so I could see Mac Jones thriving in there. It's just a matter of how long is it going to take for him to get to that point.
Okay. I think Belichick will keep him on a short leash.
I do too, but I mean, for me, I think Devontae Smith with him team back up with Jalen Hurts and the way that offense is being very fast paced and everything, and then with Jalen Waddle teaming back up with Tua, and then with all the other weapons that they do have, I could see him potentially looking at getting being more open or having the better advantage to get the yards and touchdowns in that aspect.
Okay. Now next to the next one. This will be interesting. Defensive player of the year.
Aaron Donald
again.
Donald's
gonna win it. Yeah.
Here's the real question: who would compete against him?
Chase Young.
TJ
Watt can.
TJ
Watt.
Bosa. I think Nick Bosa can really challenge him if he stays healthy. Myles Garrett can definitely challenge him.
I think he might have some competition with Jalen Ramsey though too. depending on how Jalen Ramsey does this year. If he comes out, it's the picks, and shuts down the top receivers like he did last year, I think there could be a conversation for which one gets it.
Except for Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams cooked his ass.
Hey, but Jalen Ramsey wanted that smoke, though.
Jalen Ramsey, you know what though? You know what though? With Jalen Ramsey, the thing that impresses me the most about him is one, he'll talk the shit, and he shut DK Metcalf ass down. That's a big boy to shut down. And Jalen Ramsey, you know what though? I've looked at Jalen Ramsey. That is not a small dude. He is kind of big. Like, he's a big dude. He's got some muscle and got some weight on him.
He can move.
Yes, he can move. I think he's the number one corner in the league, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Especially, so I thought it, especially with how he handled last year. Yes, Devontae Adams cooked him, but also we're talking about Devontae Adams
and Rodgers. Yeah, when you have two of the best in the league, they're gonna cook you.
You have like the best duo, but when you look at DK Metcalf, who's probably one of the biggest, fastest, in person, most intimidating wide receiver. Like, if I were to walk up to him, I would not fuck with him.
Nope.
But like, when you have someone like that, and he's willing to, and he is shutting down the top corner and the top wide receivers as a corner. I mean, I think, in all honesty, I think he proved and solidified himself as the top corner in the NFL.
See, I like about him too is that he'll go he wants one-on-one. He wants this, like you said, he wants that one-on-one smoke. He's like the Darrelle Revis of that prime Darrelle Revis. Like, hey, I will take you one-on-one and you ain't getting shit. You'll get lucky. You'll get yours, but you still ain't gonna get shit.
And that was the thing. Like, even though, Devontae Adams cooked him, but he was still able to, like, he went on the sidelines before the games and he was like, yo, let's run it. I'm all for it. Let's do it. And even then, like, he did it with DeAndre Hopkins, as they have to play him twice a year. Like,
and that's still going to be an interesting matchup. We'll see how that goes too. And he has some of the better receivers in his division to go against, and that's going to be that's going to be some good matches there. Because then he'll probably he'll do his thing. But I can't go against Aaron Donald on that. I just can't.
No, I mean, I can't either. And that's the thing is, I mean, Aaron Donald's a freak of nature and will be for years and years to come.
Right. So, offensive player of the year.
I've never said this before in my life. I'm going to hate myself for saying it. It's going to be Tom.
I don't think he puts up the numbers though.
I think he does. I think he comes out
against the stacked running backs they have this year. I don't think so. I just can't see him beating a Derrick Henry or a Dalvin Cook or even like Christian if they stay healthy.
I think he has a statement. I think he has a statement season, and if he doesn't win another Super Bowl, I'd be surprised.
My thing is even then, like, you got the CMCs, the Barkleys, stuff like that. But even then, I mean, you got Patty Mahomes, who's that.
And then you got Patty Mahomes throwing to Travis Kelce, Travis Kelce is a damn good. He's just Travis Kelce. You also have, if George Kittle stays healthy, Kittle's really good. But can you really say if Derrick Henry goes off again, maybe not for 2,000 yards, but can you say, can you go against Derrick Henry, or can you go against like Dalvin Cook? Dalvin Cook's going to, excuse the pun here, but cook people. Because that man, if he stays healthy, that is one of the top running backs in the league.
Oh, 100%.
I don't see a Tom Brady type of numbers going up against a Patrick Mahomes type of numbers, or even Justin Herbert type of numbers. Because Tom Brady will know when to scale it down, just get the ball to his receivers and run the ball and not put up big. He doesn't need to put up big numbers anymore because he has the weapons. Herbert will still put up the numbers. Mahomes will put up the numbers. You still have Aaron Rodgers put up the numbers. Like, it's tough to say Tom Brady as offensive player of the year against the field that he plays against.
And the thing is Tom Brady's never been known for the stats or the awards or anything like that. He's been more of, I'm going to show up and win the games. Yes. I'm going to show up and win the games. He doesn't care if he has to do it or if he has to give it to his running backs. Tom Brady is a selfish player. He is more about winning the games and getting this team to where they need to be. And the teams, yes, as they have been on his back to do it, they also haven't, because Tom Brady's also had great defenses to help him out and secure a lot of those spots. And tough situations and stuff like that. So I don't think that's my reasoning of why I don't think Tom Brady will get Offensive Player of the Year. I could see more of the Pat Mahomes and the CMCs and stuff like that. The people that are going to be wowing people.
What about this one though? Tom Brady gets MVP.
I see it.
I could see that one, yes.
Yeah.
I see that one more than Offensive Player.
Okay, because I see that one too. Because Tom Brady won't put up numbers, but Tom Brady will be the most valuable player. Because if you take out Tom Brady off of that team drops down tremendously.
Yep.
I say Tom Brady as MVP. That's my prediction.
Yep. I agree 100%.
My offense player is going to be between Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry.
I'm going to put mine between for offensive player, I'm putting it between Derrick Henry and Pat Mahomes.
See, and the thing with Dalvin Cook is if he stays healthy, and remember, Dalvin Cook was hurt. I think Dalvin rushed for 1,500 yards and I think 15, 16, 17 touchdowns. So, I mean, even injured, that man is explosive.
He is. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think to a point, the Vikings are definitely going to rely on him. But, I mean, with Justin Jefferson there now, too, and he develops the way he is.
That's the same thing with down there in Tennessee. You have A.J. Brown and Julio.
Yep.
But guess what that does to that front seven? It spreads them out because they have to worry about A.J. Brown and Julio Jones.
Yep. And I think it's definitely going to open up some for Dalvin Cook. But I think also the reason why I say Patty Mahomes, though, too, is because I think that offense is, well, one, yes, because it's Patty Mahomes. But two, that offense is going to be heavily circled around Patty Mahomes and what he does.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because as great as Clyde, Edwards-Helaire is, he's also shown that he can get hurt. He is coming off an injury. And if he's hurt, they have no one.
Yep.
They don't really have backup running backs to lean on. And I think that's the reason why I say Patty Mahomes or Derrick Henry. So, I think Derrick Henry's going to stiff arm someone and throw him into like the second row of the bleachers again, like he does every year. But that's me.
So would you? So what about you two for your predictions on? Because Garcia, I haven't heard anything about offense player from you.
Derrick Henry.
MVPs. Derrick Henry.
Yep.
Steven, so what was your offense player?
After your guys is talking, it's not Tom Brady anymore. I mean, it's gonna come down to people being healthy. It's gonna come down to the teams they play on. It's also gonna come down to, is this gonna be the year that Patrick Mahomes, his production kind of drops off? I mean, we've had this talk the whole offseason that there might be a blueprint now to beat the Chiefs, and if other teams can implement that, does that mean Patrick Mahomes drops off a little bit? I mean, with that discussion, Derrick Henry maybe. I don't really know. For offensive player of the year, I mean, I don't think I have anyone solid. But for MVP, yeah, I think Tom will win it.
How about you, Garcia?
Yeah, Tom Brady. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the good thing is that we'll have this recorded. So we'll keep this, and then when midseason comes down, and then check it again at the end of the season, and we'll see where we're at.
Yep, that'll be a good thing.
But I am getting hungry, boys. So I think if we want to call it, Steven, let's call it, because I am starving.
Hey, what was your question at the end though? You were going to bring it
up.
Yeah.
Good shit. Okay. Do you consider so for everybody listening, the only person, of course, that hasn't seen it because he's stupid is there's no
spoilers here.
but Shang-Chi. So do you guys put that in the top 5, in your top 5, and opinionated? This is just your guys' opinion, in your top 5 Marvel movies.
Yes.
How are we doing it? As overall Marvel movies or just origin story Marvel movies?
There's the difference.
There is a difference.
It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
If it's origin, I'm putting that as number 3.
See, if I go origin,
Iron Man, Black Panther, and then Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I say if I'm going origin movies, easily top 5, 100%.
Yeah, correct.
I'll put
origin
Shang-Chi
top
then.
5. Yep.
I'll put Shang-Chi top 7 for overall.
Yeah. I could agree with that. Top 7, 8. I could agree with that.
Steven, you need to see it.
I know, I have to see it.
Like the movie was great. Fight scenes were great. It was entertaining. I like how they incorporated the soundtrack with it.
Oh, the soundtrack was great.
I had no complaints about it whatsoever. I loved the little cameos. It was fantastic.
Yep. And they brought that back, that certain person. I was like, yes, that is so funny.
And I mean, the end credits, everything like that tied into it, it made 100% complete sense. It
Kind of
worked.
interesting.
Yeah, and it really got got you there.
Did you watch what that YouTube video I sent you?
I have not watched it yet, but it's because I've truly just wanted to sit down and focus on it, and I just have not had time.
Okay. Well. All right, boys. Well, Steven, I think we're gonna took this an hour. I think we did pretty good.
Yeah, we're gonna cut it at the hour. Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're done then. Anybody want to plug their stuff? Socials, all that shit.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, I usually plug my stuff, but I didn't know we were talking about that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm good. I think everybody knows it. It's follow me Instagram, Twitter, blah blah blah.
Instagram, Twitter, blah blah blah. Yeah, most okay. That's all that good shit.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we go, I do also want to say that this will be available in audio form on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts tomorrow. So if you guys do want to listen to it again, or if you miss any parts, that's where you can find it. But as for the live broadcast, we're all done. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.